Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm scraplifting Stephanie Olson at Mama Bear 1900, and this is the page that I chose to scraplift for May I Scraplift You. And I'm going to apologize right away because there my photo was in focus halfway up and then it's not. So I'm going to say I'm sorry. A good portion of my video is like this. I've never had a blurry video before. I am not sure what happened with my camera. The tail end of it is not blurry, but I answered the phone and had to hit record again. So I'm showing you some of the stuff I'm going to use. The papers that I have here are from Simply Stated Design. It was her Easter, I think, collection. And so I'm going to tear this wood grain one up into the strips like Stephanie has on hers. And I'm going to do both sides. I'm going to try and be pretty good about ripping the dark edge off between, because I thought that would be distracting. I'm going to smush them up a bit, and I'm going to do 2 per each of those panels because I have 2 pictures eventually to scrapbook, but I'm only going to do the one today for one of the kids, and then the other one will be for my other kid that's in the photo later. Mostly later, because that wood veneer that you can kind of see that I showed at the beginning is from MK Shop, and I did buy 2 of them because I bought them specifically for this photo to scrapbook, but I can't find the second one for the life of me, so I'm gonna have to figure out where that went. So what I'll do is prep all that I can to put it together later, and so I am going to use this Fiskars to make my tearing easier, and away we go. And then when I put this on this, like the background page that I thought I was going to use, it kind of melds together, and you can't see those strips as well as I thought you probably would. And then I didn't like it on the blue, so I used that one piece of paper from Simply Stated Design, and then I picked out some of these brown, black and white cardstock. So that brown one I like. This cream, no. The white I looked at and didn't even show you because it was too stark. And so I was debating between the black and this brown. And I decided with this brown, mostly because the colors match in some of the wood grain effect on the papers. So I thought it would look nice. And then I pulled out a stencil. So those are some of my stencils in my side here. Just looking for something that will kind of go. I don't know if Stephanie's stars is a pattern paper or if she stenciled that, but I'm going to stencil. And this is Ivory pigment ink from Gina K, and it goes on really super nice. So I'm just using a sponge dauber and just gonna pop it in there. I'm gonna get a little bit of a white line, and I'm just gonna overlap that so that we don't see that. And I do take out quite a bit of my process today because this is blurry, and yeah, it is what it is. And in a second I'll be all done this all the way across all of the page, and I just overlapped where those lines were. It gets a little busier and a little darker in some spots, but it's a cobblestone stencil. I think it's the Crafter's Workshop, and so that overlap doesn't matter. I'm using a regular hole punch to hole punch these, and I marked how far on my hole punch I wanted to do these in so that they were all about the same, so that they lined up a little bit more. I am going to put some adhesive tape on it before I get the twine in because I thought that would be easier. And then I'm wetting it down, and I'm going to roll up the edges. And so this, when it dries, maintains a lot of that distressed look. And because you roll it up, it literally stays where it is. And so I didn't come up with that. That's from Sarah Davies. So now I'm going to do some of the twine. So double knotting the end. I'm going to go in the bottom around to the bottom again, and then up, and then to the next one. So through the bottom, around, up, and through. So I do that on both sides for all of them. That was a little frayed, so, and through. And just kind of lining up with some movement in there, and yeah, and done. And so you can see that it looks fairly uniform. And then when I did this part, I was really thankful that I had the glue on it. You can see how fiddly it would have been not to have that adhesive tape on it already, and to try and do it with the string attached to them. So that made that super easy and quick. I was really happy with that. And then for the top part, I'm going back through the top and then underneath and through the loop that's on the top, and then double knotting it, just so that it finishes up that top a little bit more. So you can kind of see that there a bit better. And double knot, and then I'll cut those off in a bit. I am going to back my photo in black and white, and there's some foam on the back. The white is 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. The black is 5 1/2 by 7 1/2. And then I'm thinking about where my clusters will go. So when I set this up for my next one, all of the stuff goes in a Ziploc bag, except for like the stuff I can't find, and like the glue and that kind of stuff, because it's just going to be where it is. I'm also going to, on a sticky note, say, hey, this is what I'm missing. This is the stencil I used. This is the ink I used, so that it makes it pretty easy. I also die cut out all of these wood heart cookies and like tree cookies. And so I am going to, this is walnut in a distress ink, brain. And then I'm just going to smudge it across all three of them. So I've got a lighter brown, a medium brown, and a dark brown to do these with. I'm going to put a little bit of darkness in that middle part. And then this one here, I did actual 4 of them. I didn't know if I was going to do 1 or 2 or more on a page, but I'm only actually going to do 1. So one of the ones that I made up will go into the bag with the stuff to do later. And then the other 2 I just threw into the Sizzix envelope that all those dies are in. So this one's super cute. I'm edging it in black. I'm going to add black to all 3 layers. The bottom layer, is going to get added with black with a brush. So there I go, changing that. This is going to be faster, and yay, done. And then I'm going to glue that together, and then we're going to move on, and you're not going to watch me blurrily add the rest of it. So almost to the not blurry. So my apologies. Like, literally first blurry video ever, but So I did, yay, we're not blurry. So off screen, I added the string that comes with MK's fishing rod to the fish and to the fishing rod. And then I'm just trying to decide where the fish is going to go, and it's going to go on the heart. I backed the heart with some foam tape, and then I pulled out these gold and white flowers. They are not meant for scrapbooking. They're meant for other stuff, but yeah, I'm going to use them anyway. They do add a lot of dimension to the page, so I am going to have to figure out that when I put them away, but that's okay. That's a problem from a different day. So those are going on. In the some assemblage required fishing stuff, there are some more hooks, lots of hooks. So I'm going to put those on the page in those 3 clusters around the flowers, just because I might as well get them on. And they're super cute, and why not? So my kids were fishing in this picture with their dad when we were camping. This was up at Elkwater, and they have cougars at Elkwater in Alberta. And you can see that it's either dusk or dawn. It is dusk. And the cougar was coming down the hill to probably want to go fishing, but was doing like a stalking kind of behavior. It was a juvenile, but still a little concerning. Nobody ended up hurt. My husband ran both kids to the truck, left all their stuff there, and then he went and grabbed the stuff because he's bigger and was aware of where the cougar was. But there was other people fishing, and they were like, oh, there's a cougar? Oh. And he's like, and like little people, like mine were little then, but littler. And they're like, huh. So he's like, I would pack up and put your kids away right now. So we reported it. Sometimes they get a little brave, especially the juveniles. So I don't know, we don't call them park wardens up in Canada, but the park wardens were aware and were aware to watch for him now. So this is way back in 2018, but yeah. So I am going to put a date stamp on it. This roller date stamp actually works because it's 2018. I don't have one for 2024 or 2025, but I'm doing it in a few spots, and one dark one and then some ghost messy on top. And that is the layout done. So if you stuck around with me today, thank you so much for watching. I know that's a little annoying when it's not in focus. Here are some close-ups. Make sure you check out Stephanie Olson on Instagram. I'll have her linked below. There'll also be a playlist below. Also check out Pineapple Papers, who is the one that organizes and hosts this for May I Scraplift You. And if this is your first video of mine, please check out something else of mine because this is not my typical. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a wonderful day.